If you were kicked out of the Flight Academy for having a mind of your own, worry not, because you're more than welcome here. Welcome back to Star Wars Newsnet's The Resistance Broadcast. My name is John Hoey, and we have a fun episode in store for you today, so we're glad you joined us. Instead of a discussion or a Star Wars war, we're going to have a character draft.
Oh, it's going to be a Star Wars war.
It might get a little dicey, yeah, that's for sure. For a Star Wars March Madness bracket that you'll be able to start voting on today to eventually determine the coolest Star Wars character ever. Speaking of cool characters, sort of, let's say hi to James Baney, Patric, Covey, and Bill Sheehy. What's up, fellas?
Yeah, man, I am pumped for this. I have my list of like 40, 50 characters that is written out that I'm picking from. I'm just pumped because I have a feeling you guys are going to list ones that I didn't even think about, or I'll list ones that you guys didn't think about. Oh, man, I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah, I've been eating some Boston cream since Monday, and I'm ready to make some picks.
Listen, let me tell you guys something. I don't like to brag about this often, but I am the back-to-back University of Kentucky Men's Choir Tournament Bracket Challenge champion from 2013 and 14. I haven't won since.
What's the acronym for that tournament? The entire alphabet?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you go down to Z, and then you add a couple numbers after that. So yeah, I know basketball. I'm from Kentucky. Let's do this.
Look, I don't know anything about some back-to-back, but you're going to need some back-to after this tournament.
Oh, back to burn.
Oh, like Bacta from Star Wars. That's very clever. I'm very proud of you.
All right. And now, before we get into that, we need to find out if the Force is with us, guys. So, he's back. He took a week off. Somebody tried to do an impression of him. I think it was Anthony and Gruber. I'm not sure who it was.
Successfully.
But back on the podcast is Bill Sheehy. So, Bill, let's find out if the Force is with us. What's up, man?
Listen, guys. I know last week you heard about this Yoda character telling you to take a seat, but listen, nobody else should say it. So, in the words of the late, great Samuel L. Jackson, take a damn seat. I put a little spin on it this week. Okay, our first story this week is about the sexy world of copyrights and trademarks. So, Lucasfilm recently trademarked the name Star Wars Resistance. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, Star Wars. They're finally taking over our podcast. No. And what many, including us at Star Wars Newsnet, are speculating, the name could be the next animated series, or maybe possibly the mobile game. We don't know, but let me pitch you guys this. If the next Star Wars animated series is going to be about the creation and rise of the Resistance, is the Force with you, Pat?
No, the Force is not with me on that count. If you guys have read Claudia Gray's Bloodline, right at the very end, they create the Resistance then and there. It's in print. Ship it. Let's get these babies delivered so people can finally start reading this. I do like the concept of seeing maybe like how the Resistance is kind of starting to... almost in a way like they did in Rebels, you know, how like they kind of showed you how like one group of people kind of got involved with that faction. I like to see something like that. But regardless, if this is what we think it is, I know Filoni and team are going to do a wonderful job.
John Hoey, is the Force with you?
Yes, I'm done with the original trilogy era. It's just so loaded with comics, cartoons, all the current standalones are in that era. It's time we move away from that. So doing stuff in the sequel era, in addition to needing it, it makes it possible to have some of these sequel era actors do their own voices for an animated show if they want to. You know, I know that may not always be the case, but that'd be awesome. You know, get some Boyega in there, and who knows. And I'm all about this type of show. You know, set in this era to show us the development of the Resistance. I know, like Pat was saying, we saw the dawn of it in the beginning of the Resistance, but to see it actually kind of go from there and kind of build itself up, I think that'd be great. And it would enrich what we know and how we take off with The Force Awakens. So there's some time to fill there, and it could be a wonderful thing. And as Pat was saying, Filoni can do no wrong right now. So anything they ultimately do is great. But if it is Star Wars Resistance, an animated series, I'm all about it.
James, do you agree with John? Is the Force with you on this?
No, it's not. the thing is I don't actually think this is going to be the next animated series, but I'll play the pitch. So if this is the next animated series, you know, do you think it's going to be about the creation of the Resistance? Like, it would have to be, right? I mean, it's called Star Wars Resistance. I mean, I feel like that would be like misappropriation of their brand or something if it wasn't. My thing is I like the shows so far. The coolest things about like the Clone Wars and Rebels is that we got Force related things, and I really like the Force related things, and I want the next animated series to be like Luke and Ben, you know, or I want it to be like kind of like a Samurai Jack, like they're going to different planets and they're like meeting new people and aliens and things like that. And like the beginning of the Resistance seems very I don't know, like army building, pilots and government stuff. And I mean, I love all that stuff. That stuff's cool. But if you told me the next animated project was going to be this, then the Force is not with me.
I gotcha. And I agree with John on this. And I'm going to just a few couple quick short thoughts. Poe Dameron comic is awesome, and it basically shows a little bit of the Resistance. So, and I think you're going to get that 5-year gap between 8 and 9. So why not? The Force is with me on this. All right, on to the next one. So, Jason Fry's novelization of The Last Jedi just released on Tuesday, March 6th. But last week, a lot of sites were running with a story over speculation from a leaked line in the prologue of The Last Jedi novelization that showed that Luke was dreaming about a wife. Unfortunately, a lot of outlets didn't really look into this and ran it as if Luke had a wife. Regardless of this, many fans are now running wild with speculation over what this really could mean. So guys, let me pitch this to you. Star Wars film novelization shouldn't deviate too far from the content of the films in an effort to prevent the blurring of canon lines amongst the fans. Is the Force with you, James Baney?
This is actually a really tough one for me because the books that I think are probably the least interesting are the novelizations of the movie. And one of the things that I think is really worth reading about them is the fact that they kind of go into these extra details and the extra scenes. But to be honest with you, so far, it seems like every time they do that, it makes the movie more confusing or something. Like, well, where was this? How did this fit in? And I don't know. I think it's just kind of like they haven't done a good job yet. Now, I guess my thing is, in the future, I hope that when they write these books and they decide to expand and give us the additional content that we're all craving for, they do it in a way that isn't going to make it so blurry and make it feel like that these things maybe did or didn't have a place, or how does that fit in? Like, just give us an extra scene or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha. Patrick, is the Force with you on this?
The Force is with me on this concept of stopping the blurring of lines. Ever since the recent, Force Awakens novelization stuff that's been happening, it's been a very big concern in the community as to how they want to handle this novelization problem moving forward. Because as I recall, that was originally based on a draft of the film before it came out. And then, as we know, Rian Johnson turned around and actually had Poe and Rey meeting in The Last Jedi. So this was a huge debate over this as to how we should handle that. Regarding this line, though, I do applaud Jason Fry for, trying to get within these characters' heads, which is what the novelization is really trying to achieve. Get in their heads, show you, how these characters are feeling in these big moments of the film that you don't necessarily hear about in the film. And that's what's great about it. But at the same time, it's kind of this weird, tricky situation where you're like, is this just a thing where he's just thinking about his past? Or is it like Jason Fry kind of like poking the Mara Jade fans a little bit and like, ha ha ha, like I don't know. This is something we got to discuss a little bit more.
I gotcha. And John, is the Force with you on this?
Yes. I mean, the novelization just came out, and there's already so many articles that people got wrong saying that, oh, Luke had a wife, and then fans only read the headlines, so then they go tell their friends, hey, Luke had a wife, and people are like, oh man, I really hate Star Wars now. So it's just like, what is happening? It's out of control. So I really think they do need to be careful with that. I mean, I haven't read the novel yet, so I know Jason Fry knows what he's doing, and I tweeted at him and he responded to me, which was nice. I said, did you have to since Terrio and J.J. Abrams were writing episode 9 when you were finishing your first draft, because when I met him at New York Comic Con, he said, I just finished my first draft. And this was early October. So J.J. Abrams and Terrio were already underway writing episode 9. So I tweeted at him, I said, did you have to coordinate with J.J. when you were writing this book? And he said, ask me in 10 days. So that is around when this episode is airing. So I got to go right now and tweet at Jason Fry, I guess, to find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
A little bit of follow-up.
The Force is with me. This stuff kind of bugs me out because canon's tough as it is, and people are fighting so much about canon and making up their own theories, and that's what caused a lot of problems with The Last Jedi. I don't know if it's needed. Like, just do your novel. Like, I have an old trilogy version of Star Wars, the original trilogy, a novelization, and I don't freak out about it. But for some reason today with modern stuff, people go nuts. So just try to keep it down the same lane.
Yeah, and I'm gonna mirror a bunch of your guys' sentiments. But at the end of the day, like, is the films are what's canon, and the fact that it deviates from the movie doesn't really bother me all that much because Pablo has said time and time again, at the end of the day, the films are what we go to, and those are the ones that are canon. And I really kind of like this. It's really kind of reflective for Luke, and he has a moment to himself. So the Force is with me on this. All right. This was posted, and I'm going to do in my best Dr. Cox from Scrubs line, widely across social media platforms, including by our own leader of the resistance, James Baney, and elaborated on in an article on our website, Star Wars Newsnet, by our friend Trey Mitchell. So Dave Filoni actually teased the Jedi Temple portal with Ahsoka in the Topps trading cards 2 years ago, proving that Filoni has basically had the Rebels story mapped out from the get-go. So guys, should Star Wars films follow their television series format and map out their stories from the beginning? Is the Force with you on this, John Hoey?
No, I think that works for TV when you have like one showrunner, like the Mafia Don with his cowboy hat, Dave Filoni. But films are just so much more involved with moving parts and handing batons over, as we talked about before, but, you know, JJ with his first drafts and stuff like that. If the original trilogy didn't have a decided pathway and it turned out the way it did, then I don't think it's needed. So, no, the Force is not with me.
James, what are your thoughts on this? Is the Force with you on this?
Man, I actually think it is with me. It does kind of scare me that in almost every version of Medium that you get some sort of planned out, like, this is the story that I want to tell. But yet with the movies, which seem to be the biggest aspect of the Star Wars universe, they kind of are just like, well, we'll just go by ear. You know what I mean? Which is like, there's an argument to be made that that's like a really good way to do things. Like, well, we don't plan it out, and then when things don't work, we're forced to what we were, and then because it was planned this way, we have to
paint by numbers,
break that. Yeah. And so it gets all tricky. Like, the best way to work is to kind of just go with the flow and just kind of like let things be the way they are. But like, as we saw with the Solo stuff, like, that was the direction the directors were going, and they were saying, hey, we're going to just kind of play it by ear, and we're going to let things come naturally. And yet it wasn't working for Lucasfilm, which is kind of surprising because I'm arguing that it should be more, you know, they should be a little bit more strict. I don't know. I think it's a weird argument. I wish it was planned out. I wish that the trilogy actually had like an end goal and they knew exactly where they were going, and it wasn't completely up to the director. It was just left up to, you know, a manager that says like, hey, here's what we want to do, and now I'm hiring you to make that happen, and you can have some creative freedom within that, but ultimately just make sure that these things happen, if you will. So yeah, the Force is with me. I want them to do
Gotcha.
that.
And finally, Patrick, is the Force with you on this?
The Force is mostly with me on this. I'm with James on this. I feel like we need a little bit more structure to help flush out these lines of Star Wars content going forward. Maybe, you know, set up some stuff for stuff outside the films a little bit within those film contexts. That would be perfectly fine. Start tying these threads together. However, I don't want it to be so tight and restrictive that these directors coming in can't have some creative control and, you know, can express the things that they want to express. I don't want, like, somebody coming in and going like, "Oh no, you can't do that. That goes against the plan." Like, you can kind of be a little bit Gumby-ish and, you know, be a little flexible still. But I feel like structure is the way to go. It's what a lot of fans have been wanting for quite some time. I will say that, you know, it's been kind of disappointing with the episode 9 stuff. However, fans really shouldn't be attacking this because, as we just talked about on Monday's episode, JJ was kind of trying to plan some stuff out with 8 and 9. So relax a little bit, fans. Grab a sweet tea or some beer or something, and
an apple juice for Bob Iger.
Apple juice for Bob Iger, and let's not panic too much. Let's let things flow. If you do have some sort of opinion towards this that you want Lucasfilm to hear, definitely give it to them. Just don't be so negative about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with most of your points, Pat. I feel like there's something to be said of having the whole trilogy mapped out so we know where we're going. But on the other hand, I mean, if the writer and the director has the creative freedom it needs, I think that's a good thing and can only do well for the story. So I guess the force is with me on that. So that's all I've got, guys. Thanks so much for taking a seat. Now let me introduce our next segment a little bit. Let me get a little bit background for it. So as you guys know, I am from the Bluegrass State. I'm from Kentucky, and we love our basketball. And most importantly, we love our March Madness. So in honor of that, we've got a little bit of a special March Madness type tournament going on. So John, why don't you go ahead and introduce this?
All right. So this was Bill's idea. I mean, this was Bill's idea, and James came up with a theme on what we can do in terms of how to decide this. And what we're doing here is a bit of a Star Wars March Madness, like as C-3PO would say, "This is madness." And that sounded horrible, I'm sure. But
this is March.
This is March.
Madness.
This is the Imperial month. So we're going to do a character draft, and basically what we're each going to do is that we're going to take our turns in a snake draft and pick what we think is the best, coolest character in Star Wars, and we're each going to pick 8 characters. So we're going to do the draft right now. We're going to take those 32 characters, put them in a bracket for you guys to take a look at. It's available right now on our Twitter account, and you can take a look at it. You fill out the winners of each matchup all the way down to the championship. And if you're interested and you want to submit it, fill it out and send it to us on our email at resistancebroadcast@gmail.com. And we're going to tally up our points like we did with the Last Jedi Challenge. And the highest point total for the brackets that are submitted will win a t-shirt from the Resistance Broadcast of your choice. So we're going to get into the draft now. Again, we're going to start off. It's going to go Pat, James, me, Bill, then snake up Bill, me, James, Pat, and we're going to snake through 8 rounds, 32 characters. We're going to have some fun with this, and then, like I said, we'll get those brackets out, and you'll be able to see that right now on our Twitter account. But it's time to do the draft. So here we go.
We already did Is the Force with you, but this is the time to take a seat, honestly.
This is the time.
Don't take my line!
All right, so let's get into this draft here. We're going to start it off with Pat, who's going to pick his first round pick. So without further ado, I've been saying further ado a lot. I'm going to stop saying that. You guys out there are probably tired of me saying without further ado. So without
much ado about nothing.
Without further whatever, Pat, who is your first pick in the draft?
Guys, no pressure. I'm going to kick off my number 1 draft in the beginning. The bounty hunter himself, Mr. Cad Bane.
Whoa!
Ooh, wow!
Out of nowhere. That is not what I was expecting.
That was not what I was expecting at all. So Cad Bane is the number 1 seed. Okay.
Oh God.
So Cad Bane for Pat. All right. So James, Pat just kind of handed you a cookie. So
yeah, I know it was gonna go that direction. Where like I don't know why I don't even have Cad Bane on my list. I wasn't even thinking about him. I have so many people. And yeah, I missed him. It's not a bad pick though, man. That's a good one. Man, I just thought it was going to go a different direction. The bounty hunter, the main guy, the guy I'm picking.
I thought he was
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Whoa!
No,
Boba Fett.
James, are you picking him?
Yeah.
That's your
you're picking
first
Boba Fett?
pick?
Yes.
What that's oh my God. Okay. All right.
This is oh God. Now I'm worried about what John's gonna pick.
All right. Okay. I am going to pick Now, this is, I don't know if everyone's heard of this character, but I assume most of you have. His name is Han Solo. That's going to be my first pick.
Han Solo.
Yeah.
That's my number 2 pick. He was right below Boba Fett. I just think more people think Boba Fett is the coolest character.
Dude, there's no one cooler than Han Solo in the cantina when he first meets Luke and Obi-Wan. It's just so chill and so cool.
Yeah, until Boba Fett came along with his little missile pack on the back, and everybody's like,
sorry about
crap.
the mess. Here's a coin. I'm out of here.
Django is better than Boba. That is just a fact.
All right, so
is that your pick?
So yeah,
No, hell no. That's my first pick. What? I'm not an idiot.
All right, so we have Cad Bane, Boba Fett, and then my pick Han Solo. This is the first round, folks. So Bill, let's end the first round. Who do you have to finish the first round? And then I guess you could pick 2 in a row because you start off the second round.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh wow, this just got better. Okay, awesome. All right, so the greatest hero in cinema ever, Luke Skywalker, is my first pick.
That's a first round pick. That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what?
Luke's very low on my list.
I mean, Luke isn't very cool, but
you're
he's
underestimating.
Still a legend.
It's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I asked someone at work who his favorite character was, and he said it's not Luke. Luke was never cool. Luke was always a wuss.
All right,
so no, but like,
Bill, you get to start off the second round.
Yeah, take it away.
Okay, so if this is the Mortis arc, I just picked the son, and now I'm gonna pick the father. Darth Vader is my second pick.
That is such a good pick.
It's a good one.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm gonna. It's funny. You went to the son to the father, so I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna do father to the son, and I'm gonna pick Kylo Ren.
Ooh.
Oh shit! That's awesome. Well done, my friend.
I think he's pretty cool, and I think I'm gonna get some of the Reylo people on my side too. So
I mean,
hashtag save Ben Solo.
I don't disagree, man. My list is weird though, man. I had Kylo Ren below Luke Skywalker even.
I think you're underestimating him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So since you guys already took Han Solo, I'm gonna have to go with the Colt 45 drinking Lando Calrissian.
Dang it.
All right. So James' second round pick is Lando. So that follows up his first round pick of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of people in around Jabba's palace on James's roster. So Pat with Cad Bane. Pat, who was your
Cloud
round?
City, man. Cloud City.
Yeah, that's true too. Load Captain Solo into the cargo hold. Pat, who was your round 2 pick to end our second round?
Since James picked Lando, I gotta go a little decisive. It's one of his buddies who met him up in Battlefront 2. You gotta go with Shriv Surgav.
Ooh.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you trying to lose?
That's a wild
You think
card.
Shriv Surgav is one of the coolest characters in the history of Star Wars?
He is hilarious and gives everyone a run for their money.
Okay. All right, Pat.
Well, because you do you, man. I'm trying to win.
Yeah. All right, Pat. Guess what?
Well,
you
he gets
to
another
start,
pick. Yeah.
You get to start another. Yeah. So you get to start round 3. So right now you have Cad Bane, Shriv Surgav, and
I can't believe.
Since
what is happening?
Who's your
Go ahead. Since we're going with underdogs here, this is somebody who has raised immensely in popularity in recent years. I gotta go with the future leader of the First Order, Mrs. Ray Sloan.
Okay.
Okay, so James, you have Boba Fett and Lando. So next has to be one of the skiff guards, right?
No. It's close though. They're all in the same place. I think I gotta go with everybody's favorite Wookiee, Chewbacca.
Lumpy.
Good for you, man.
Oh, Chewie. Okay.
Lumpy.
All right. See, I love Chewbacca. That's a good pick, man.
I think everybody thinks
cool
Chewie is a cool character. Yeah.
Dude, especially after they see Solo and they see him with those shades on the back of that train.
For sure. The double.
Yes. All right. So let me cross off Chewie on my list. This is a toss up for me here, but coolest character, I got to go with Darth Maul.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I didn't even think of that. Oh shit. Okay, cool.
All right. So, Darth Maul. So, Bill, third round. Let's close out the third round, and then you obviously kick off the fourth round. with
Oh
your
God, guys!
You have a double
like
dip.
I am like in shock. Like I broke it down by like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Both of the 1 seeds that I wanted are still up for play, so I'm gonna pick them.
Yeah.
My 3 seed is going to be, you know what? Just make it the father and the son and the daughter. It's Leia Organa.
There you go.
That's my
That's a
third
great
one.
pick,
That's
man. That was gonna be my next one.
She's gonna go far, and you know what?
Yeah.
Oh God, this is hard. Oh no. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it, and then my 4th pick is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
All right, good pick. My 4th round pick is going to be someone who's been around everything, has done everything, is a wise ass, cracking, crazy freak who has seen it all, and his name is R2-D2.
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
I thought you were going with Salacious Crumb there.
Dude, R2-D2
Yeah, me too.
is a badass, and he's seen it all. He's one of the coolest characters, so I had to throw him in there. I had to get my droid in the mix there. So R2 it is for me in the 4th round. James, you are up.
I'm gonna do something weird because I have a character on my list, and right now in the moment you got to go with your gut, and I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling this character, so I'm moving past him and I'm going with the person after him, Starkiller from The Force Unleashed.
That's
Oh,
well
wow.
done.
Is that Sam Witwer?
is
Yeah.
in the
It's
building.
Sam Witwer. I think that people really were drawn to this character as like the person that they always, the thing that they always wish Star Wars could have been was this person who could pull down Star Destroyers and double lightsabers,
Sure.
and he was good and he was bad and he was playing Darth Vader, you know what I mean? Like, this guy just kind of had it all at a certain time. He doesn't fit really into canon anymore, but I think for the time being, yeah, man.
Cool.
Starkiller. He's cool, dude.
All right. Now to end the 4th round, Pat, who is your pick? Knock our socks off, buddy.
Since James went the Legends route, I'm also going to take the Legends route, and I'm going to pick the man from Shadows of the Empire, Mr. Dash Rendar.
That's a great pick.
Dash
Yeah.
Rendar is so
You know
cool,
what's funny?
man.
That was the one that I skipped.
Damn
I don't really know a whole lot about Dash Rendar, but I know that people look at him like a really cool character. So I had him on the list, and I don't know, I just couldn't say it. I think Starkiller is cooler than Dash, but more power to you, Pat.
All right. So, Pat, you get to turn right around and kick off the second half of this draft. We're already at round 5 here. So, kick off round 5 with your 5th pick for coolest character in the galaxy.
This is a broader character, but I'm going to have to pick the Ewoks.
Okay. All right. Do you want to specify one to be your keeper of the flag
My
here? Or
official...
I don't think so. I think the
Ewoks, I guess?
Ewoks are the Ewoks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we specified a Wookiee, so I don't know if you want to specify an Ewok. But
Yeah, but
like if you want to throw
Come
Wicket
on,
on
Chewie.
there or
Chewie,
Yeah,
or
let's
what
go with
other
Wicket.
Ewok?
Let's go with
There you
Wicket.
go.
Okay.
Wicket, then.
all
I
right,
think
so,
he'll do better than Chief Chirpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wicket in round 5, and we go to James, your 5th round pick. So let's do a quick rundown here of what James has. We have Boba Fett, Lando Calrissian, Chewbacca, Starkiller. Pick 5.
All right. I'm going for the middle of Empire Strikes Back. On board Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, he needs to figure out where they are, and he hires a group of bounty hunters. And there's one over there that is a robot by the name of IG-88.
Yes, he was on my list. That's a cool one.
Instagram 88. Good job.
1988 Instagram filter.
There you go.
Oh,
No,
God.
but I've never really fully understood what makes IG-88 so cool, but I think that people just really are drawn to him. They think the idea of this robot. And then what's the game where he like walks around and he's like destroy or something, right?
I think that's from Shadows of the
I think
Empire.
Shadows of the
that's-
Empire.
yeah.
I think that's Doctor Who, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
With that, I'm guessing that was after the Hoth scene because that was as far as I
Yeah.
got, as you all know. All right, this is tough for me.
There's so many big names on the board still.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
genuinely
I
shocked.
think I'm
Huge
gonna
names.
take a leap a leap over two of my higher picks and go with Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, damn, that's what.
That's my 5th round.
God.
Bill, now you were gonna pick Ahsoka?
That was one of my, on my list.
It's on there,
So I sniped you.
Yeah.
I snipped you.
You know what?
Because they
I
call
guess-
us sips.
I solid joke, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Oh God.
So you get a double dip here. You get your 5th round pick and your 6th round pick. So right now, Bill is looking good. He has
I have Luke Skywalker, Darth
Yeah.
Vader, Leia Organa, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
yeah.
You're like all in original trilogy.
Yeah,
like
he's
you
got-
haven't left A New Hope yet.
Okay, here we go. I'm leaving A New Hope. My 5th pick, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, that guy is pretty cool. That guy's always trying to find his daughter when people kidnap her.
Get off my train.
God, okay, and
And your 6th round pick is
my 6th
Go
round
for it.
pick. You know, I'm conflicted because I want to go to the. I'm just gonna do it. Rey. Rey is my
Rey.
6th pick. Rey is my 6th pick.
All
And
right.
if you had told me that I would have gotten Rey not in like the 2nd round, but the 6th round,
Yeah.
I would have said you were crazy,
Yep.
and I would say stop doing drugs because there's no way that's gonna happen.
Yep. That is a good pick. All right, so I'm up again, huh? Coolest character ever. Wow, there's a lot up here. Now the question is, do I snipe James right now? Because I think I can.
Are you gonna no scope him?
Do you think you know what I'm gonna pick?
I know exactly what you're gonna pick.
I actually, you might know what my 2nd pick is, but the one that's above it, I highly doubt it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I assume your next pick is gonna be Sam Wessel, so that's why that's not gonna be the one I'm gonna take.
No.
All right, so what should I take? Got a lot of dead air here. Sorry, folks out there, but this is tough. You're probably screaming at me, How have you not picked this person yet? So I'm just gonna take the most evil person we know, Sheev Palpatine.
No, you will not. Do it. You will pick me.
What makes Sheev so cool?
Just how he's been all these different characters, from being the senator to being the true underbelly of all this darkness.
Something ducks.
There's nothing more cool than the most evil person in the galaxy who's able to make Darth Vader his bitch. So to me, Sheev Palpatine's up there. And plus his name is Sheev. So that's
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting. He has a bunch of tricks up his Sheev.
Sheev.
All right, so round 6. So what am I looking at? I have Han Solo, Kylo Ren, Darth Maul, R2-D2, Ahsoka, and Palpatine. I'm feeling pretty good.
That's not a bad
That's a
list,
solid
man.
list.
I'm
That's a
feeling pretty
solid list, man.
Now, James Baney, who has the Fett, Lando, Chewie, Starkiller, IG-88, and...
Oh man, after hearing your list, I'm starting to worry a little bit about my list. You got a good list, man. But I think I'm looking at the list and I'm thinking that one of the coolest fan things that ever happened in Star Wars, and they finally brought him into canon with Rogue One, was the Death Trooper.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
okay.
think people really got into this whole idea of like a matte black, flat, evil, dark stormtrooper that is just out to murder
But
people.
James, you know that this isn't the coolest action figure bracket,
Yeah.
right?
No, but this is that I don't know. Yeah,
Dude,
sometimes I'm starting to fall into.
What's make Palpatine so cool? It's like I had to give it back to you about Death Troopers.
No. I was asking what makes Palpatine so cool. Tell the fans why you're picking it.
I mean,
But can you hum it for me, James?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So round 6, James goes with Death Trooper. So Pat, you have your round 6 pick. Coolest character in Star Wars that is left on the table. Plus, don't forget you get to start off round 7.
I'm going in strong, guys. It's a trap. Gotta go with Admiral Akbar.
What are you doing, dude?
My goodness.
What are you?
All right. So Admiral Akbar is your 6th round pick. So that gives Pat Cad Bane, Shriv Surgav, Ray Sloan, Dash Rendar, Wicket the Ewok, and Admiral Akbar.
Yep.
All
Going
right, Pat.
underdog.
All right, Pat.
All right, and round 7 pick is gonna be none other than the Imperial himself, Mithra Nuryodo Thrawn.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm
well
going for-
done.
I'm going
well
for the
done.
canon
Finally,
version.
coming
The
in
canon
hot.
version.
Okay,
That's your first good pick.
That's his first good pick. All right, good job. That is a good pick, man. And unfortunately, that T-shirt of ours is gone, but he's Thrawn's resurfacing in the Resistance broadcast in the form of our bracket. But round 7, James Baney, who you got?
All right, I'm doing what I did before. I'm actually gonna skip a couple people. I don't know why. I'm just like in the moment, not feeling them, and I'm gonna go for the comic character Dr. Aphra.
Oh, wow. Good job.
Yeah, she won that action figure contest, so that's a good pick. People like that character.
For sure.
Faux show. All right, man, I'm looking at my list. There's so many good people left here. I thought I was going to be digging deep. Man, why do I cross that off? I had Django Fett on my list. Get the hell out of here. It's embarrassing.
So, well,
Did you hear that, everybody? Jango Fett is up for grabs.
Django Fett is embarrassing. Did you hear that, everybody? All right, I am going to take, now this is, he was canon, and then he was still canon. And he's just a really cool character. His name is Yoda.
damn it. Okay, that makes it easier for me. Thank you.
What the person that I talked to that was saying Luke was a wuss or whatever, he said R2D2, Darth Vader, and Yoda. And I think John has all 3 of them.
Mm-mm. Bill
No.
has Vader.
That's right.
I have
Sky
R2
Vader.
and Yoda.
Yeah.
We can do trades, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
All right, so Bill, you have your 7th and final pick, though.
I'll give you a Star
So-
Killer and IG-88 for Vader.
Pat will trade all of his characters for like Palpatine.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So Bill, you have a pick here, and then your 8th round, which is your final pick. So this is it for you, man.
I don't
So
think
strong.
I could not take this character in good conscience.
I know who
So,
it is.
In the
take that damn seat,
Yeah.
Mace
I
Windu.
knew
7th pick, baby. 7th pick.
in the words
Damn
of
straight. In the words of, there it is. All right, and you know what? Oh God, I'm so conflicted. Okay. And so my 8th and final pick is for my fans of the Old Republic out there.
This is the one I actually thought you were going to say.
Darth Revan is my 8th and final pick.
That's a good one. Man.
And not going to lie, 100% you just snaked that from me because that was my next pick.
That always makes the picks better when you snipe somebody.
Yeah, especially in a world where it could be like so many people. The fact that we're like still gravitating towards some of these.
Mm-hmm.
There's still good sequel characters out there. That's the thing.
There's a lot of good characters out there. A lot of good characters. So I'm up for my final pick. This is so tough because there's so many good characters because Pat did such a horrible job. Just kidding, buddy.
Hey,
that's a joke.
I might snipe you guys. It's the fans who get to vote for this stuff.
All right, coolest character. I can pick so many here, but I have to go with this character because I always have so much fun with it. I'm taking Salacious Crumb as my coolest Star Wars character.
There you go.
8th round.
There
I'm
you
doing
go.
it, man.
Well done. Well done, my friend.
Dude, people like the crumb. Don't sleep on the crumb, man.
Don't sleep on don't sleep on the crumb.
Kowalki, Spider Monkey, whatever they're called, I forget.
When this is done, we should go over some of the ones we didn't pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
There's
so
so
James,
many.
James, here's your final pick, and then Pat has the final pick of the draft.
Yeah, I'm still gonna skip that one. I think if Pat wants to take it, he can have Captain Phasma. That was pretty high on my list.
Wasn't even on my list.
Yeah, it was pretty high on my list, but I think just people have kind of a sour taste after they were disappointed after Last Jedi from that character. And so I'm moving on to the next one, and my actual final pick is going to be Captain Rex.
Oh, good call.
Ooh.
No joke, he just
Better
sniped
than
me.
Salacious Crumb.
Oh, you
No
wanted
joke,
Rex, Pat?
he just sniped me.
Wow.
Sniper, no sniping.
Okay, so Pat, who is your final pick?
I need some dramatic Jeopardy music here.
It's got to pick someone new now.
There are so many characters out there.
Yeah.
So many characters. I'm gonna have to go with the guy who hasn't had a lot of attention in recent canon too much, but he has managed to survive both Death Stars. I gotta go with Wedge Antilles.
That's a good call.
That's a bad pick, man. Yeah, he's a popular character for sure.
I am shocked at some of the characters that I picked.
Listen.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm looking.
Yeah, let's everybody kind of read their list off, starting with Pat.
The ones we didn't pick?
No,
Yes.
read your roster first.
Okay, so the roster of my picks are... Hold on. I think my list is messed up.
All right, so Pat, I think you had Cad Bane, Shriv Surgav, Ray Sloan, Dash Rendar, Wicket, Akbar, Thrawn, and Wedge.
Yes, sir.
Does that sound
That
right?
was it.
All right, James.
Wow.
James, who'd you have?
My list is consisting of Seed 1, Boba Fett, P.S. coolest character ever in Star Wars. Second, Lando Calrissian. Third, Chewbacca, Chewie himself. Fourth pick from the Force Unleashed series, Star Killer. From The Empire Strikes Back, IG-88, everybody's favorite robot murderer. Speaking of murders, we got the Death Troopers coming in at number 7.
6.
Everybody loves them. 6. That's right. No. Yeah, because... Oh, yeah, that's right, because I haven't written down Captain Rex. Look at that. Captain Rex. Okay, so after Death Troopers, I got Dr. Aphra, the Han Solo of the comic world. And we also got, last but not least, of course, Captain Rex, coolest of the clones, clone commander. Awesome dude.
Nice. All right, now my first pick was Han Solo. My second seed is Kylo Ren. My third seed is Darth Maul. My fourth seed is R2-D2. My fifth seed is, which I think was a steal, is Ahsoka Tano. Sixth seed, Palpatine. Seventh seed, Yoda. And eighth seed, which I think is going to win the whole tournament, Salacious Crumb.
It's a good point. It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pans out. All right, so I am actually shocked at the quality of this list. So let me just go down it. My first pick, Luke Skywalker. Second pick, Darth Vader. Third pick, Leia. Fourth pick, Obi-Wan. Fifth pick, Qui-Gon. And John, I know you said yours was a steal. This is the steal of all steals. Sixth pick, Rey.
I was surprised
Seventh
about that,
pick,
Yeah.
Mace Windu.
sure.
And eighth, Darth Revan. I am absolutely shocked of the amount of great characters that are just still on the board.
Yeah, I have.
Like you,
Yeah, BB-8, Poe Dameron, Hera Syndulla, Kanan Jarrus,
Every rebel.
Anakin Skywalker, Tarkin, Chirrut Imwe, Captain Phasma, Grievous, Sabine, Biggs, Bosk, Cassian, Snoke,
Finn,
Sebulba.
Yeah.
Kit Fisto, Kyle Katarn, Snoke, Holdo
Exactly.
Interdelli, Padme Amidala.
Yeah. So,
like what?
so, I mean-
what the hell, guys?
Did you guys have anyone
I
else who
think,
you were shocked that weren't picked?
Yeah, you know, there were like I'm trying to keep track of some of the ones you guys are saying, like Kyle Katarn and stuff like that. Asajj Ventress, did anybody say
Yeah,
that?
there you
I
go.
was gonna
Yeah.
put her on
That was
my
on my
list.
list, though.
Yeah.
Tarkin.
Hondo.
Tarkin, yep.
Tarkin's great, big fan favorite
Dude,
there.
no one picked
Dengar.
Jabba. No one picked Jabba, the crime boss,
Yeah.
man.
Cassian, K2, and then another one, Darth Bane. And nobody went with him, and I think he's also kind of like one of the coolest, like legend Sith characters. Also, another one from the Dr. Aphra comic, 000. I think people are really drawn to the 000 character, and he was on that list for me.
Zero people
somewhere
picked him,
down the
so
line.
there
I
you
know
go.
0 people.
Triple
pick him.
zero or quadruple zero picked.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not a clever name.
Man, so
Oh, and I love how
What a
no
crazy-
one thought of C-3PO. Not even on our list of people who didn't get picked.
Well,
Oh my.
It's literally
I think
called
everybody
This Is
thought of him, he
Madness, and
just
we
didn't
didn't
make
pick
the list.
Yeah,
C-3PO.
it's based off of his quote. This is madness, and he's probably going to be on the bracket somewhere that James makes, but he
Yeah.
didn't get even mentioned. Poor 3PO. It's because of the red arm. We didn't recognize him.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead, Pat.
Some of the ones on my list that didn't get picked, characters like Forlom, Chamson Dula, Greedo, Poe Dameron, Mon Mothma, Ramus Antilles, not to be confused with the other Antilles himself, Mr. Wedge.
Yeah, the captain of the ship. I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
Captain Ethano, the Crimson Crusader himself, Timon Snaps Wexley, BB-9E, Jaina Solo, Chopper, Morai the Convor, Iden Versio, Wilro Hood, and Yup Tashu.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think if we doubled this and did like a full NCAA bracket, some of those people would show up. If we're talking top coolest characters, I mean, to fill 32.
I'm not sure about Wilro Hood though.
Yeah, I'm
showing up on the
you could
top
literally just be saying names
characters.
at this point, and I'd be like, yes, Star Wars.
So now, if you out there listening, if you suffered through the live draft, since you could see the bracket anyway, the bracket's there for you to take a look at and download, and all the names are listed in their regions, seed 1 through 8, and just fill out the bracket and each matchup until you get to it, a winner, and that's going to be what you deem the coolest character in Star Wars, and email it to us at resistancebroadcast@gmail.com. And how we're going to do this is each round, so the first round of 32 is going to be worth 1 point, and the round of 16 is going to be worth 2 points, the round of 8, 3, the final 4 is going to be worth 4 points each matchup, and the championship is going to be worth 5 points. And then the highest score of the brackets is going to win a Resistance Broadcast t-shirt of your choice. So
very cool.
Fill out the brackets and email them to us, resistancebroadcast@gmail.com, and good luck to you. And open forum to just make fun of us for our picks. If there's anything you thought that we shouldn't have picked, or we missed on, or a character we didn't mention, let us know. Have at it. And we'll go from there. So we hope you enjoyed listening to that, and fill out those brackets. And we'll get it going. We're going to be putting polls up now, right, guys? We're going to have them vote?
Yes.
Yep.
All right,
absolutely.
so we're going to post the round of 32. So these matchups are going to be listed in polls, and you're going to be able to vote to decide who the winner is. So it is up to you to determine who moves on.
When it comes to these polls, when you're voting, don't vote for your favorite character. It's a different argument. We've talked about it here. We thought about doing favorite. We went with coolest. Don't vote for your favorite character. Vote for the cooler character, the character you think is cooler than the other one despite everything else.
Yeah, that's a good point. And so, yeah, it's up to you to decide who moves on. And then, like we said, fill out your brackets. So we hope you had fun. That about does it here. Do we have time to move on to the expanded universe?
Oh, yeah, we do.
All right. So, Pat, what is going on in the community that we call the Resistance Expanded Universe?
Our first story this week is about a Star Wars fan film, which comes from some students who've been working at Savannah College of Art and Design. It's called Odyssey, a Star Wars Story. It follows a young rebel named Quinn on his first recon mission outside of training, and when Quinn makes a decision to ignore his orders of not intervening in the civilian affairs, the situation goes from bad to worse. I'm quoting this. The small 6-man reconnaissance squad must fight for their lives and beliefs as both are threatened in an all-out battle with Imperial forces. We will be getting a trailer on May 4th. That's Star Wars Day, folks. And the movie will be released May 25th on YouTube. And last time I checked, May 25th is the release date of Solo. So guys, what are your thoughts on this concept art and some of this entry stuff that they've kind of put out there into the internet to try to get some money to finish this fan film? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. It looks like it's really legit. It looks like it's going to be a pretty legit fan film, so it's interesting to see. I mean, it's unfortunate that Han Solo is going to take a box office hit now that this is coming out the same day. I'm going to check it out. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of fun. I guess their website is odyssey-film.com. So I'm looking forward to checking it out, and I love fan films, and this one looks like it's the real deal as opposed to Lightsaber Kid in his garage.
James, are you feeling this Rogue One vibe?
I like doing short films, and I'll probably at some point maybe mess around with doing a Star Wars short film, but honestly, I've never been like a huge fan of watching them like other people's fan films. I think it's cool, and I think it has a really good place in the world, and I think it's important that people can do that because, to be honest with you, like I'm sure that this helps get eyes on new film directors, you know, like if we see some stuff that they're doing, like even if it's not a Star Wars related property, but somebody picks it up and they're like, oh, that's cool. I bet he could be the person who would direct my time travel movie or whatever, you know? So I'm in all support for this. I think this is awesome. And I'll probably end up checking it out. I always have this weird thing where I think it's because my eyes see past. I'm a film person, so like I see all the mistakes and I see the shortcuts and things. I'm not blown away. Like I see behind the curtain. That's the best way for me to put it, I guess. So sometimes that stuff kind of bothers me, but I mean, just based on what I see right here, this looks pretty cool.
This looks awesome. Just have some of the concept art in front of me and some of the like the pictures of them like filming. This looks like something that you would see like at Lucasfilm, if like in the office, like okay, this is the storyboards and this is where we're going with it. I think it's such a cool. It really does have that Rogue One like visual flair to it. It feels like kind of a gritty Star Wars war story, which I'm 100% for. I'm really excited to see this because all indications and of everything I'm looking at, this looks awesome.
Yeah, I feel like this is such a great project they've undertaken here, and I know it must have taken a lot of time, money, and manpower just to make this happen, even on the conceptual point, not alone moving into the production stage of everything. So that's really cool. And I like the time period they chose, which is about 5 BBY, which is right around the time of Rebel Season 1. So you almost feel like these shore troopers are kind of lived in. It's not like, you know, when you get into Rogue One and all of a sudden they just kind of show up. You actually feel like they've been around and had some experience on these like beach-like worlds. So I really enjoyed that Rogue One flair to it a little bit. All right, we're going to move on to our next video, which comes from Outside Hollywood over on Vimeo, and they put together a really cool animation of a time-lapse showing the construction of DS-1, also known as the Death Star. Guys, what were your thoughts on this thing?
Yeah, I found this, someone had tweeted it out, and I apologize whoever tweeted it out. I want to give you credit for doing that, but it looks so, like it took such a long time. It looks so awesome. Like it looks like it took almost as long as it would take to actually build the Death Star, or how long it would take Daisy Ridley to really put together a Millennium Falcon Lego vehicle. But I thought,
okay, you are on that like really hard.
yeah.
Leave Daisy alone.
Crazy diddly. I like it a lot. These guys seem like really cool. I'm curious to see what else they do, because if this is one of those things where they show time lapses of Star Wars for other areas too, like Death Star 2, Star Killer Base, I'm all about that, because I'll just fill my head canon with that type of construction. So pretty cool.
I agree completely, John. I think this was a really cool thing to see, the way they kind of put it together. I will say, I'm not sure that it was exactly built like in that order, because I think the big thing to me was that the satellite dish being put in there, and I was like, I thought that was like the last thing that they did.
They showed that Rogue One, yeah,
some of the other stuff. So I was like, well, that's the only like little hiccup I would think. But man, they went into such detail with like the way all the paths were written out, and I think they based it on like schematics from like all sorts of like cross-section Star Wars books and stuff like that. I was like, man, the detail that went into this, and like, who just thinks like, you know what, I'm going to spend all of my free time making this thing just to put it on the internet for fans.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, anytime somebody takes the time, we all love Star Wars here, but they use something that they're good at and they make it into something like this, I am just completely blown away by people's passion. And it's a really cool thing to see, especially like we saw it in a little bit in Revenge of the Sith, and then you see it a little bit in Rogue One. But this is really, really cool. And I think I applaud these guys, because I mean, it's an incredible...
we barely made a character bracket like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And these guys are making time-lapse videos.
That was the toughest thing we did.
So.
So yeah, well done, guys.
Well done.
Now, James, don't you have something to share with us this week?
Yeah, I think that art is always like a big important thing in the Star Wars community. I know that so many people are striving to get their name out there. So I just wanted to give a rundown of some of the art that I saw. I actually meant to mention them last week, but this person did a really cool portrait of Darth Maul, and I saw it on Reddit, and he actually does a thing called Geek Art for the Geek at Heart, and you can find his website at Creative Outpouring on Etsy. So that's creativeoutpouring.etsy.com. And you can buy his artwork there, and he does a lot of other things besides Star Wars, but the one that really stuck out to me was this really cool Darth Maul with his double-bladed lightsaber and the way he's looking and stuff, and I thought it was really neat. Another artist that I came across this week is one on Twitter, and his name is @_QUB_, so Quub or something, but he does this really awesome street artwork where it's kind of like the Hope posters of the Obama administration and stuff, but it's really neat because like he'll do like Sabine Wren, or he'll do Tarkin, or he'll do the Seventh Sister. So I think he's kind of breaking into bringing underground Star Wars stuff to kind of a grassroots method of marketing. You know what I mean? He's saying, I love this stuff. This is my art. It's not just Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca, but it's going to be all these cool celebratory characters, or characters that deserve to be seen and have their own designs are really neat. So he's bringing that to street art and spray painting and stuff like that. So check him out on Twitter. The last one that I came across is actually an artist from Instagram, and they go by non-binate, I think, or non-binate. I'm not sure. NONBINATE. And this person...
That sounds like a character Pat drafted in the character draft.
That's it is. This person does a lot of cosplay, and then she makes jackets and all kinds of stuff that are just like some of the coolest stuff you've ever seen. But one of the things that really stuck out to me was the recreation of helmets. So she was doing Sabine's helmet and stuff. And there was this really cool stormtrooper with like some spray paint and they, on it. And it was like a rainbow kind of splatter on the stormtrooper helmet and stuff. Just really, really, really cool stuff. So go check out, M Blackburn is actually the name, but then it's NONBINATE, and that's how you can find her. She's an illustrator, artist, and
Very
space
cool.
cadet.
Nice.
Awesome.
And now we're going to send it back to John to wrap this puppy up.
All right. Now, again, if you see anything cool out there like James was just talking about, or the Death Star creation stuff, the fan video, all that stuff, whether it's a charity, fan-made video, anything you think is cool, send it our way because we want to tell you guys about it. And more ears should be brought to the attention of all that stuff. Now, be sure to subscribe to our show, The Resistance Broadcast, on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, and like our episodes on SoundCloud and YouTube. We appreciate it. Head to our store, tpublic.com/user/Resistance Broadcast. Pick up some merch. We have some great designs like our best-selling Han Solo triple Solo shirt in our themed color schemes from the character posters of Solo: A Star Wars Story. Check them out. Pick one you like. And if you buy it, it's the best way to support our show. It helps us grow, so we really appreciate it. For your latest Star Wars news, reviews, editorials, and information, go to our website, starwarsnewsnet.com. James, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on my main Twitter account, @MyerTrunks, and the same for Instagram. But in this next week, I'm going to be creating a lot of fake Twitter accounts so I can continue to vote for Boba Fett, Lando, Chewie, Starkiller, IG-88, Death Troopers, Dr. Aphra, and Captain Rex.
Have you considered Russia?
Hey, Pat, where can everybody find you and your crazy list of characters?
Well, you can find me slipping non-binary into my 6th seed, or you guys can find me over on Twitter @Gannon136, or Gannon136 over on the Cantina forums. If you guys haven't already checked out the Cantina forums, definitely do. It's a wonderful community, over 8,000 members and Star Wars fans, and always growing.
Nice. Bill, where are you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter @StarWarsBill. You can also find me this weekend at Lexington Comic-Con in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm going to be walking around, talking to you guys, maybe trying to do a couple of cool things, an interview or two. We'll see what happens. If you're in the Southeast or Lexington, Kentucky, wherever area, come out, come say hi to me. We're going to have a great time. Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Now, Bill, just to put you on the spot, are you going to be wearing any of our shirts so people can find you?
Listen, I now have enough shirts to wear for the next at least 2 weeks. So yes, I will try. I'm going to pull a Dave Filoni, and after every big moment, I'm going to change in a different shirt with a different punctuation mark on it.
Bill lives.
So yes, you will see me with Resistance Broadcast swag on. So come on out.
Right on. Bill, have fun. And Bill will definitely have a report for you to bring you into the experience of going to that Comic-Con. That's what we like to do here, to try to bring you guys into these experiences. Like James did with his video out in LA. I am John Hoey. You can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and writing and editing over at StarWarsNewsNet.com. Thank you for listening. Please keep spreading the word to anyone you know that likes Star Wars. It's really the best way for our show to grow in terms of listeners and fans, and we love to build this community here. So whatever platform you like, if you know a friend who likes Star Wars, send them a YouTube of our show and have them listen to it. Now the brackets, again, fill those out. They're on our Twitter account. Send them to resistancebroadcast@gmail.com. But definitely send your brackets to our email address so you have a chance to win one of our t-shirts. Monday, we are going to announce the winner of the Last Jedi bundle giveaway. So the contest has officially closed. We are going to pick a winner, and we are going to announce it on Monday. So whoever entered, if you're out there listening, there's a whole lot of you. Good luck to all of you. Now, we will be right back here with you Monday morning with that announcement and a great show, so make sure you're subscribed so you're alerted to our next transmission right here on the Resistance Broadcast.